Don't. No. You. But I want to. I'm Marilyn Harris.
And I'm Percy Smith.
Our guest today knows Victorious.
Yeah.
And this is a podcast called Victoriously Crazy. And we are crazy and we're victorious because we have Jennifer Carta.
Yeah.
Played the mom of the teenage girls. You look good.
Yes,
Oh, thank you. It is so great to be here. It's so good to see your face. It's been a while.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't tell you enough how happy we are to have you here.
Yeah.
The fans are happy too. They sent in questions for you, girl.
Yeah, girl.
They did. Yeah. We only cut it down to 5. So you ready? Okay,
Yes.
Percy.
Okay, the first question is from Louie. And it's kind of a two-parter, so I'll read it like this and then we'll work with it. Is Holly Vega actually named Holly? Was it written in the script or mentioned in videos on the slap?
That is a very good question and very interesting because when I was first cast, I didn't have a first name. I was just Mrs Vega. And I asked Dan Schneider, the creator and showrunner of the show, I was like, so what's my first name? What am I called? And he goes, oh, that's a really good question. What do you like? And what do you like? And I can't remember. I think I said Sarah. And he goes, oh, I like that. He goes, what about Holly? And I was like, I love it. And so he kind of came up with it, but it was really sort of not in the beginning of the show. She didn't have a name until later.
Louis asked it because it wasn't mentioned in the actual episodes themselves, and we haven't heard it officially. So now we have.
Great question, Louis.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I think maybe it did show up on the slap at first, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I think.
All right.
Great question.
That makes sense because you don't know the mechanics of, you think that writers are sweating out things, and that was just spontaneous.
I think it even happened towards the end of the first season. So it took it was really just, and it was really off the cuff. It was just in a moment where I was just thinking, oh my gosh, what is my first name? Maybe one of the cast members asked me and I didn't have an answer. I was like, oh God, I need to ask Dan, what is my first name? So
all right, second question is from Antony. Not Anthony, but Antony. What was the most fun episode to film?
Oh, that's a great question. Can I say all of them?
Yes,
they really were all so much fun. I think my favorite one, I have two. I think I have two favorites. When, God, is it called Star Spangled Tory, where she is supposed to sing the Star Spangled Banner, and she gets hauled off by a dog and then forgets the words of the song. And I come home and everybody's there. I've invited the whole gang over to celebrate, and she's, Tori is a mess. She's just a mess.
Aww.
And I have to send everybody home. For some reason, that was so much fun to shoot. It was so much fun to, I loved all the scenes when I got to be with everybody. When Mom got to be with like the whole cast, that was super, super, super fun. And we all just got a real kick out of that one. I don't know why. It just was, it was fun.
Yeah, there always was such a good vibe on set. It truly was a family type of a feel. So I get that.
I also liked when Psychowitz took away their phones, and Kat and Tori, I think they're doing their homework or something like that. And I'm like, just use your phones. And they're like, we can't. And then all of a sudden, all of these, there's like the Robberazzis were outside and taking pictures and stuff. That was super fun. I could go on and on.
Okay, great. Because this third question is quite similar. So let's go on.
Okay.
It's from Leah. What was the funniest moment when playing Tori's mom?
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh God, there are so many. Oh my God. Oh man. Well, okay, here's a good one that I think the fans thought this one was funny, but I certainly got a kick out of it. And I know Daniela and Vic got a kick out of it too. I'm having breakfast and I think I'm eating waffles, and both the girls want some, and I'm like, kitchen's right there. And for whatever reason, we always got the giggles doing that. And it was like, we found it so funny. And I just kept on eating waffles and the girls were just staring at me.
Oh,
like,
I remember. Yeah.
There's the kitchen.
Yeah. You're at that age. Well, make it yourself. You've been watching all these years. Now it's time for you to do your business.
And all the moms in the world said, yes.
Yes.
About time.
That was a really good one.
Okay,
good question.
I think this is kind of a different question. I never heard it asked before, but it's about your wardrobe.
Oh.
And it's yeah. I've never seen anyone ask this, but what was it, Percy? Does your wardrobe as a mom match anything to your own personal style? I see your flowers. You look beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So,
I actually I really liked the wardrobe that they gave Holly on the show. And it's interesting. She starts off, Holly on the show, she starts off a little mousier with her hair is shorter. I had my hair short then. And the way that they sort of did the hair then was a little tamer and a little, I guess mousy comes to mind.
right.
And the clothes were good, but as the seasons went on, my wardrobe seemed to get kind of just a little more eclectic, a little funkier, a little like a little hippie-ish and bohemian, and I loved it. I thought it was definitely, like, I remember I even I asked Chris, the wardrobe designer, if I could buy or take one of the tops.
Oh, so you did like it.
I
Oh, that's so
really
cool.
liked it. I
That's
really
cool.
liked it a lot. It was very it really kind of fit my vibe. Yeah, sometimes I feel like Holly in her wardrobe, she just was that's where she could be a little free and a little, like, you know, more herself than just being a mom.
It's like you had a life too. You had the two teenagers, but you were like a cool mom, you know.
Yeah, she really blossomed into being a cool mom. Yeah, kind of you know, she pushed her kids in ways that some of the fans didn't like, but I think the fans got it too. You know, she would kind of nudge, you know, Trina and Tori to just kind of grow up a little bit, you know, like making your own breakfast when you're in your high
Exactly.
school.
Real life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's right.
real life.
That's
So
right,
I
man.
like that. But yeah, the wardrobe I loved. The wardrobe is such a big deal on shows, and having your cast like what they wear, it just makes them much more comfortable to do the job. There were a couple instances where I know that some of the cast members were just a little uncomfortable with just some of the wardrobe, but you had to do it, like whether it was the big I don't know, what was it, like somebody was a hamburger and somebody
the costumes.
right, yeah. But what was amazing about this cast is they all rolled with it. If they were uncomfortable, they knew they had to do it and they just rolled with it. It was great.
They were truly professionals.
Professional, that's the
And
word.
Andre's grandma's wardrobe was always loose fitting because I was always running and jumping.
That's right. It had to be for you. That's right. Because
Yeah.
you were ducking and like,
Yeah.
yes. Oh my gosh, Marilyn, that's right. It had to be loose.
Percy saved the last question for last because it's a little involved, but not really involved. So Percy.
This is from Cassie. Describe each main character cast member with one word.
So the first one would be Victoria.
Yes.
Yeah, Vic.
Yes.
Generous.
Oh, that's a great answer. Especially when you go, oh.
I know, because it's for real, man.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
She was so generous and just, I mean, they all were. But for the purpose of the question from Cassie, I would say generous in just many ways. Yeah, she was lovely.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got that same vibe too.
Yeah.
And yeah. What about Daniela?
Oh my gosh, Daniela, firecracker. She's a firecracker in the best way. Like, she's great. Just tons of energy, just willing to do anything. She was awesome. Firecracker. Yeah.
Liz.
Ooh, Liz. You know, Liz, this is I have so many words for Liz. No, but in the best way. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. It was great.
She was so good. The kids were really scared.
She was a great actress.
I know.
She is a great actress.
She is very and I don't want this she was very sensitive in a beautiful way. Like she was just really, I know that with Jade she came across as being insensitive, but Liz herself is the opposite of that. She's also she is so funny, like dry wit and really quick with the humor, like
I love
hilarious.
That.
Yeah.
Leon.
Leon. Oh my gosh, he's like a savant with music. Like he is just so talented. But also so nice. And I know people don't like to be called nice because they think it's boring, and Leon is anything but. Just super duper nice, and just warm and inviting and lovely. Yeah,
I like nice.
I do too. I think nice goes a long way in this business.
Yeah.
Right.
Ariana.
Oh, Ari. Oh God, she is love. I mean, she is just bubbles of love. When I first met Ari, the gang was coming into the green room and I was going out. This was, I think, for rehearsal. And she goes, Mama! And she gave me the biggest hug. And she wasn't even playing my daughter. And she was just like wrapped her arms around me and was just, it was always like that. She was just a love bug, just buckets of love in that one.
Oh, wow.
I love that. And she's so tiny that she's like huggable height. You just move in and get it, you know?
Take it.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Yeah. How about Matthew Bennett?
Matthew Bennett.
Oh my gosh. He is fantastic. He is so smart. I mean, so smart. But also really, really kind.
Yes.
Yeah, just very kind. And again, I mean, this word can go for everybody. Talented. I mean, everybody in that cast, including you, Marilyn. The talent was just overflowing in many, many ways, whether it was musically or dance or smarts or whatever it was. It was just, they all were talented. But Matt was kind, really kind and interested, like just interested.
Yes. Into it. And he had to deal with the prop of Rex. So he had the added dimension to his character of dealing with that.
Wow.
Yeah. He was amazing. He blew my mind all the time with that. That was I think he worked really hard to get it to where it looked like as natural as it did for him. That was amazing that he did that.
Yeah, I was impressed because, like I said, it's an added dimension to your acting. It's, you know, it still blows my mind. The last one is Avon.
Avon. Oh man, Avon. He's just a sweetheart. He's just really you could tell that, I mean, they all loved what they did and are doing. But there was something like about Avon that was kind of I don't know, there was like something secret and smoldering underneath about him that was intriguing, and but he was always just like, how you doing? Like, what's up? How you doing, Jen? What's going on? Like, so he was, I don't know, maybe there was just a little mystery around him, but great.
Yeah.
Like,
it was the coolness.
Yes.
And he also had to, in his acting, deal with the different emotions of the girls around him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yeah, he played Beck so beautifully. I mean, he really brought such great dimension to him. I thought he could have played him as this just cool, I got the girls guy, but he didn't. He played it very sensitively and like he cared. And I think that came from Avon. Yeah.
Well, great answers.
Yeah, that was the last question from the fans.
It was.
You're
and
great.
It gives
You're
more
wonderful.
in depth to, what these actors dealt with and went through. Acting is not easy. And I was always so impressed with these young people being able to do such a great job and starting their career at such a young age, which pivots to a question to you now. You ready, girl?
Yeah,
ooh, she got this.
ready.
Ooh, she ready.
She ready.
She like Tiffany has. She ready.
Bring it
on. Okay, I'll ask the first one. How did your career start?
Great question. So it's interesting. A lot of people think that actors are people who like being the center of attention. I was the opposite. When I was growing up, I was really, really shy, very, very shy, to the point where, I just didn't talk that much because I was so shy. And it wasn't until I discovered in a school play, I think in elementary school, that I could be somebody else. And if I'm somebody else, I can explore other things. I can explore other emotions. And there was a safety in that for me. And so it kind of started off as not something that I sort of wanted to do. It's kind of like made me comfortable, if that makes any sense.
Yes, it does. Totally.
Very much.
And so then I think from there I was like, I want to act. I want to become an actor. Wow. And I started taking dance class, and when I went to college, my major was drama.
Wow.
And which is not that easy. You have to, I mean, the way people think you just do acting and exercises, it was so much more than that. There's script analysis, there's breaking down character, so many things that you benefit from.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I guess that's kind of how it started for me. At a young age, I found relief in acting.
That's a blessing to know at a young age what it is that your path is, because I mean, acting is so wide range. You could start in your 50s. You could start as a child. There's roles for everyone. So I think that's really cool.
I think it was when I was in college, because my dad was not, I don't think either of my parents really wanted me to become an actor. They were nervous about it.
Yeah, join the club.
Yeah, right. And I kind of had to, like, I don't know, I felt like I had to prove myself to them that I can actually, no, this is meaningful. This is, and I think it was when my dad saw me in a college performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream, and I
Oh.
played Helena, and
Uh-huh.
he was very much like, oh, so you really do want to do this.
That's
And
awesome.
this goes right into the next question. At what point did you audition for Victorious, and what did that process look like?
I'm so glad this is being asked, because it was not as straightforward as I think as it would seem. I originally auditioned in the beginning when and this will make sense in a second. I auditioned in the beginning before the pilot was shot, and it came down to, I don't know, maybe a handful of girls, maybe four of us were kind of being looked at,
Mm.
and and then they whittled it down to somebody else. So the part of the mom was cast,
Oh.
and I think 6 months passed, and they ended up having to recast the mom.
Mm.
And
Wow.
they brought back those like top four girls, and we had to go through an audition process that was pretty intense.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, why is this coming back? I didn't really understand. And then my agent said they have to recast the mom, and they need to do it now because they have to reshoot the pilot, and they're already shooting episode 2. So it was like this weird rush, like all of a sudden they had to find the mom.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I they had given me the wrong sides. I had Trina's sides.
Oh, that must have been.
And
And
so I go in,
that's when
and
your professionalism came out.
I go in and I start the audition, and Dan's like, wait a minute. What sides do you have? And I said, Trina Vega, because again, no name
You
for the
didn't have a first
mom.
name. She didn't know.
Right.
Right.
And I knew I wasn't Tori. And and he goes, oh my
Oh
God,
my
you have the wrong
God.
sides. And I'm like, I thought I was done. I thought I should just go home.
Yeah.
But they gave me the sides for the mom. They gave me about 10 minutes to go out and work up some magic. And I was really like, oh my God, how am I going to pull this off? And I go back in, and
Oh my
I read again, and they were great. And then they said, can you stay 10 more minutes? And I said, yes. And there was another girl that they were auditioning, but she had the sides already.
Oh
Yeah.
my
So they were waiting
God.
for Victoria to finish shooting a scene, and they wanted us to screen test it together. They wanted us to read together,
Mm.
and so we practiced outside for about a couple of minutes, maybe,
Wow.
and we were talking about the scene, and and giving each other like little like, oh no, this is good, oh, do that again, oh this, well, she was with me, she was like, that was great, do that again. And then we go back in, and I read with Victoria in front of everybody, and the room is filled with like 15 people.
Oh my
And
goodness.
and then that was it. And then I heard maybe 3 days after that I booked the job.
That's
incredible.
amazing.
Oh my God, it
Yes.
really was, because
Mhm.
I thought I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get this after
Yeah, but
after having the wrong sides. But I really, all that training, all
yes,
that
it kicked
stuff
in.
that we worked so hard to just, be prepared
Oh
for
yeah.
anything really
Exactly.
helped.
Yeah, wrong
Yeah.
size is anything. Can you imagine that?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's a typical actor experience. You go in, you have all these little weird things happening. You stay focused, you do what you have to do, and you walk out saying, I'll never hear from them again.
Yeah.
And
Oh
then
my
you
God.
get it. And you
I
get
know.
it.
I'm still like,
Ooh.
I think that's why they picked you. They say if she's able to go outside for 10 minutes and get those lines and bring it back in, we want her.
it was a great learning experience too, because it also prepared me for what was to come when we were shooting, because there were times where Dan would change lines like that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you had to kind of just be
You
able
had
to
to get
go
it.
with it.
What do you remember about walking onto the set and meeting everyone for the first time?
Well, I shared meeting Ari, but
Yes.
I met oh gosh, it was really, really very inviting, warm feeling. And actually the first time I met everybody was at the table read. You know, you have your little name tag where you're supposed to sit. And I'm like, I don't really know who's who. And but then everybody would, you know, Avon came up to me, hey, I'm Avon, I'm playing back. And then, you know, Victoria was sitting next to me and we chatted a little bit. And Liz and everybody, they were just like, they took it upon themselves to help me.
Wow.
And it was just really kind of great that they were responsible that way, that they were helping the new people feel comfortable. And that was really wonderful. Wonderful. So it was actually at a table read where I met everybody for the first time.
Yes. I love those table reads because he would put you next to who you're interacting with in the script. It was very well organized, and there was a family vibe there. It was very comfortable. And it was just that, a read. You go through it the first time, then you act it out, you know, the second time. They give you notes right there. Yeah. They're working on the script. I learned a lot from that process because it was a huge cast. So it was a huge table read.
Yeah. So what did your name tag say? What did your name tag say?
It said Jennifer Carta, Mrs. Vega.
Yeah, they fixed it in time. It didn't say Trina Vega.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so funny.
Yeah. Get that Trina Vega thing off of that.
That's great.
You got two Trinas.
That's great.
Got two Trinas.
Nobody knows that story. I am so glad we're doing this.
Do you have any memories of Grandma from the pilot and other episodes?
I do. I mean, I remember when I was shooting the pilot, the very first time you know, Mrs. Vega saw Crazy Grandma was it was during the performance where Trina's tongue swells up. And we're ushered out, and Crazy Grandma's sitting behind me, and Tori, and she's ducking down and moving around and big eyes, and and my character's like, what is happening? Is she okay? So I had no idea. It was fantastic. So that was like the first time where my character saw your character, Marilyn. And then
you had no idea that she was going to be that crazy?
No.
Oh, that must have been great.
No, not at all. And so
that's
funny. It was great. And I don't think Victoria knew either. So both of us were like,
they wanted to see real reactions.
They wanted to see real reactions.
That's what it was.
And it was great. It totally worked. It totally worked. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then I think the other time I didn't.
Sometimes those directors, they're sneaky.
I know.
They're sneaky. They pop things on you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what were you saying?
Oh, I just remember.
You didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that, but I also remember. I stuck around. I used to stick around and just watch other people's scenes. Like I used to watch you, and I would watch Eric as Sikowitz, and you know, and I'll never forget when your character went in to get Andre at sleepover at Sikowitz. That just floored me. It was so funny. It was so funny, and he was playing a pregnant woman.
He was pregnant. All the kids went to your house after they got kicked out of Sikowitz's house.
They did, and I was having some romantic time with my husband.
With your man.
with my man, and yeah, that was so funny.
And that was so funny.
Yeah,
Ariana, like she didn't even get it. You know, she was trying to tell her, and she's like, yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
Oh
They
my
didn't get it.
God,
They didn't get it.
they didn't get
Because
it.
they're kids.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
The main cast members were teenage actors, and they had school and they hung out together. What was the life? What was it like for adult actors like you, Jim, Eric, Andy, others? Did you guys hang out?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, we did. We did a lot because there was a lot of downtime, and
Yes.
you befriend each other, and it was really great. Eric and I discovered that we had a lot of mutual friends in common, and Jim and I, we just got to know each other, and it was really nice getting that time to be able to get to know them, and like them. Really good people, and supportive, and always hoping you get written into more scenes, and
yeah.
we all were championing each other, and just it was really nice. Yeah, so that's sometimes you know I don't know if many fans know this, but I was pregnant in the first season, and so
Oh.
when I came back for the shooting of the second season, I had an infant at home, and this might be a little personal, but I'm fine
Oh.
with it. I had to pump, and that was tricky.
I could imagine. I
You
could
know, like
imagine.
Oh my
I
God.
had to like it, and I had to, so that was a really interesting thing. So my time sometimes was taken by having to just do what I needed to do, and so I
Yeah.
wasn't around a lot.
Mm.
But then when I was, it was great to be with Eric and Jim, and even like the stand-ins,
Oh
Dre,
yeah.
and like just the crew. They were so great, and yeah, so just tried to get to know everybody. Sometimes I would go take a nap if it was a long space in between.
Oh, there was a lot
So
of downtime.
it was a lot of
Yeah.
A
downtime.
lot.
Yeah.
So, with your interacting with the crew and others, did you learn anything in particular from working with people on the set? Did you pick up any new ideas on how to approach acting or?
I think the thing that really was impressed upon me the most, that was something that I didn't, and maybe it's because this was sort of a comedy, was how relaxed and flexible, and how easily all the cast members could go from speaking about like, oh my God, I watched this movie last night, right back into character.
Wow.
And having that flexibility and not being so tied to being in character. Sometimes it works if you're in character all the time.
Yes.
But on a set like this, it really showed me how being relaxed and open and just having a good time within reason with everybody,
Yes.
really plays into how your performance is going to be when you're filming. And that was really something that was really, because I have been on other sets that are comedies, and it's not quite like that. It's just different, just a different vibe. So
A heavy vibe. It's like
a
heavy.
heavier vibe, yeah. And
Yes.
so this was really, it was really, really, really great to see that. Like you could be kind of goofy and whatever, but when it came down to filming and being in the scene, you're right there. And
Yes.
that was really, I thought that was really great. Really great.
Shortly after you played Mrs. Vega, your husband booked kind of a similar role on Henry Danger. That must have been exciting.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that was great. And Krisha, the casting director, I actually, Jeffrey had heard about the audition. I hadn't. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, I guess. But he had heard about it, and he's like, hey, you know Krisha, and you guys are on good terms, and would you feel comfortable, passing along? Like, he had an agent and he was already submitted for an audition, but he hadn't really heard anything about getting an audition. And I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. I didn't even think about it. I'm like, this is fantastic. Yes. Give me your headshot. I've got all your agent contacts, and let's see if we can get you an audition. And I went to Krisha and gave her Jeffrey's headshot and everything. And next thing you know, he's got an audition. Like, that's a tricky character too. Like, it was thrilling.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different aspects of acting that people don't really understand. They see your work, but they don't understand what went on behind scenes, how you got there, the audition, the rehearsals, the filming, the waiting to see if you don't get cut in the edits.
She's doing all those things because she probably loves it, right? You love it.
I'm sure she does.
I do. I really, 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 really do. And the writing kind of took me by surprise, but a little background, not even background, but I was on a Broadway national tour of a play, and I was understudying the two female. There were only two roles in the play. One of them was the lead. One of them was the sister. And I had so much downtime that I started to write. And so I wrote my first screenplay on tour. It was like a year-long tour. It was a very long tour.
Wow.
And the screenplay was horrible. It was so bad. But you know what? I handed it out to the cast, and we did a reading, and it was so much fun. As bad as it was so much fun.
And it helps pass the time, which is the best thing.
Yeah. So.
Oh, wow. And you continued writing from that point on? You just kept up with it, or?
Yes, I have. And it's just, I get these, you get ideas in your head, and then they don't leave you alone. And then it's like, well, I'll just write it down, and maybe I'll get to it later. And it just kind of,
snowball.
I can't stop thinking about it. And, so.
Yeah. That is a trait of a true writer.
True writer, yeah.
You do have to get it down, or it'll haunt you. It'll just stay with you. I hear that a lot from writing. Bennett's a writer. Is that how it works for you, Bennett? When you get an idea, you have to write it down?
A lot of late nights.
What's your process?
All-nighters, I mean, that's what it is. It's like you can't, I mean, that's why it's impossible if you have to do one thing to stay focused, because you just have these ideas that they hit you when you least expect them.
Yes. And then they disappear on you, and you're craving to have an idea, and it doesn't come. And that can be annoying. But when they're there, Bennett hit it right on the head. It's I know for me, like, I like to have, a half an hour doesn't quite cut it. I need like a chunk of time to kind of really get in it and get the wheels going and stuff. And that's hard. It's hard to find when you're a parent, and you're working, and you're doing laundry and the dishes and vacuuming, all the stuff that needs to get done. Suddenly it's 7:00 and you're exhausted. It's all great, and you just find the time for it.
What would be your advice to any performers?
I guess, I get asked this a lot, actually, and I think I try to just say, know yourself really well. And also allow for other things in your life to happen. Like, don't make it just be about acting, because actors, they need to know, you never know what you're going to play. So it's good for you as a person to be very interested in life in general, have hobbies, have interests in other things, because all of those things will feed into how you portray a character, or, you know, and really just witness society, just look at people, watch people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I think that's really important. And I think the other thing is just know that for every no, you're just getting closer to your yes.
Oh,
that's
we
my
say that
motto.
all the time.
That's my motto, right, Bennett? Yeah, I had
Yeah,
learned from
right?
another actor. He had told me what he does.
Percy, sing the
to keep the
song.
man down. He goes,
There's a
he
song?
said, yeah,
Yeah.
he said, what it is? He said, think like this. No, 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 yes. And that one yes.
Isn't that
That's
great?
right.
When I do an audition, I don't think about it. Boom, that's it.
You move
I
on.
And I move on.
Yep.
You better believe it. And when you get that yes, it's party time. Come on, party with me.
That's
with that party
right.
time. Just like that.
All right. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I never forgot that.
You have to be able to stay positive and move on.
Stay positive.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
You
right.
know that it's coming.
And it's hard. It's
Believe
hard
in your
because,
heart.
yeah, it is
Ooh.
hard because you do feel like, what could I have done? I'm not tall. I can't make myself taller. I can't, you know, I mourn for a day
Yeah.
and then move on. When I say know who you are, just really, that's part of it. Just because you want to bring yourself. I'm sorry, my dog is like wanting to play with me right
That's
now.
okay.
And
Oh,
she
that's
is
We love
okay.
dogs. No.
We love
Um,
We
dogs.
love dogs.
Oh, she's great, but very busy right now.
Is it
But
a
that's why I
lab? Is
think
it a
knowing
lab?
yourself-
Labs are busy.
Oh,
Is it
yeah,
a
she's
lab?
golden,
Is it a
and
lab?
Yeah.
See,
it's a golden
Yeah.
retriever.
I couldn't
What's
see
her
it.
name?
When you said she's so busy, I said, "Oh, that's a lab."
You may as well give her billing. Tell us her
Yeah,
name.
like
Yeah.
lab. Her name
Yeah,
is
that's what they
Sadie.
do.
Yep,
Oh, I like that.
she's
I love that.
she's great. She's a rescue,
Well, we're
and
almost done.
she's.
Oh, great.
Oh yeah, okay.
Can you
We're
show
almost
us
done,
your dog?
Sade.
Can we see her? Say,
Oh yeah, let's see if I can.
yeah, let's see her.
Oh,
Oh,
look at that
Oh my
face.
Sadie.
She knows the camera. She knows
Sadie.
it. You see her, she's like, what?
See,
What? What?
See, now she'll leave you alone.
Just want to go out and run.
she got her billing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna finish this up then. We only got two more.
Okay.
As you look back on Victorious,
that's right.
what would you like to say about your time on that show?
Oh, it was, gosh, I learned so much. It was just really, really magical, I think. It was a really,
was.
really, yeah, it was a really special time. And I just kind of felt that the show and what they were doing with the show was just going to be really special. And just to be part of it was just great. It was a really special time, I think.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Would you come back for a Victorious reunion or reboot?
Oh yeah. Oh, how fun that would be. That would be great. Yeah.
Would it be great? Oh,
That's
Yeah.
the question that's always out there. So
Yeah.
we,
Oh,
we
I
thought
know.
we had to address that.
I wish you so much luck with this. I think it's great. It's so great to have something like this out for the fans. You know, you guys, Victorious fans are awesome, and they're so loyal,
are.
and I just think
Oh
you
my
guys are
God.
great, and thank you for continuing to love Victorious.
Oh, that's sweet.
awesome.
Because they do love
They
that
do.
show.
They do.
So
It's great.
I know, and that's why we're doing it. And
Yeah.
that's why we do the act out.
Yes.
Just so they
Oh,
can
yeah.
get a taste of Andre's grandma. It's time to give them some of that crazy, right?
So it's time for me to get out, right?
Yep, you scoot on. We'll go into that scenario of me walking into your business, which
Mhm.
is, I guess, a ladies' boutique, and I'm going to be
Yeah.
asking for meat.
Now we know where
gonna be-
Tori's mom works.
Finally.
That's right.
Finally
That's
know.
right.
Roll.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Hi.
Oh,
How can I?
I'm
how
out.
can I-
I'm out.
Are
I'm
you
out.
okay?
I'm out. I'm back. I'm back.
Would you like something? Can I
I'll
help
see
you
your
with something?
store. I'll see your store. I'll see your store. I want to buy some meat.
Some meat.
Meat.
Oh, meat.
Meat.
We don't have meat here, but we have jewelry. Would you like jewelry? A necklace?
I can't eat jewelry. I want some pork chops.
You okay?
Thick ones, please. No, I need some.
Oh, boy.
I need pork chops.
Oh, boy.
I need pork chops. I got great
I think-
pork chops.
I think I hear the phone ringing. I think there might be security. I think there might be something in the back.
Chops, and I
Just,
want
you know what?
turkey, and I want chicken, and a hot dog.
Sing!
Okay,
Sing!